It happened that much with the fucking Crazy X. I actually bought a voice recorder and I was like willing to walk around the house with it and then just wait for it to back.
It's not normal, this, you know.
No, it's not.
I just want to point that out.
It's not normal
I've
whatsoever,
never
bro.
ever once in my life thought I needed a voice recorder to track and incriminate the girlfriend. Like, he used to just stroll about in those tracksuit bottoms and his Rolls Royce, and kids would be chasing him like, Jim will fix it.
Jump in, girls. Jamie Peacock's booked in for January. That's going to be a big one. I'm buzzing meeting.
Hard. He's from the era of rugby league when it was its best. Proper man. Because I'll tell the truth, when you came around of a day, you were eyeing it up.
I was just seeing if you'd been smoking it, that's all that was. Bro, trust me.
No, you were eyeing it up, though.
I would never.
I thought you were eyeing it up.
No.
Because it's one of these, you have a little look at joint, then look at your eyes, you're like...
You were debating.
There were an inkling of debate thinking,
Tell it, honestly, no debate there.
It sounds to me like you just...
I'm not suffocating because I don't need just come all over. Comes over, smug, goofy little bald prick and goes.
You didn't like him, did you?
Mate, he were a dickhead.
Yeah, you didn't like him.
He's a
I
proper
could see
dickhead.
that towards the end. He didn't want to shake his hand. I could tell.
He were a knobhead. It's funny because yesterday I was driving through Josh's estate and Tom were like, "This is exactly where Josh got run over it with that CCTV that caught it." And I want to get Josh on the podcast so he can tell the story himself because he's got loads of stories, mate. We used to just sit on his balcony, fucking back end of a session, kezzled and stoned, and he used to just tell us loads of mad stories from Marines and like just him getting in trouble. And this one story, so it was Christmas Day and one of his friend's grandma lived next door to the local drug dealer thug guy. And they were all on Christmas leave, alt Marines, and his mate got a call saying, they've been round to my house again threatening me, of like a 70, 80-year-old woman. So Josh was like, right, it's Christmas, it's the night of Christmas, let's just fucking go round and see him now. So them three went round, Josh, a guy called Reese, and one of his other friends.
All a handful.
They can all fight, yeah. Reese is, I've told a story about Reese before when he was in a beef for Oxy and he was threatening to elbow a guy. And they've knocked on this guy's door who was having a bit of a session, probably 7 or 8 of them in an upstairs flat. He's answered the door. They said, is so-and-so in here? He's like, So he just got moved. Walked upstairs, 3 of them. Walked into a room with about 10 of them. They're all meant to be big drug dealers from that area. One of them jumped out a window. Didn't even stop to ask what's going on. Just jumped out window. I think Josh, maybe I'm dropping him in shit here, but allegedly filled this guy in and then bounced. And then whilst they're walking home, like talking about it and reenacting it and it's been seen on camera, this guy's just jumped back in his car, seen him a couple of 100 yards down the road and just bang.
You can't fight a car, can you?
It Josh, mate. Josh has gone up in air and done like flips, landed on the floor and snapped his leg. The guy's crashed into a wall after that because he must have just been going out fast. He just like bump, fuck, and smashed straight into the wall. Tried reversing out. I think Reese has rugby tackled him and starts fighting with him. And then the guy's got up and run off and Reese has took him home and the guy ended up going to jail for like 5 years for it. But he said, the reason I did it was because they've just come into my flat and beat me up, but there was no proof of it. So that's why I say allegedly.
Yeah, but like even there, 3 lads and there's 10 lads. It's a fair fight, innit?
Yeah.
You can't start running folk off her.
Wonder what goes through your head to run somebody over.
Yeah, I can see, you know...
I can see it under red mist.
Yeah, it's Christmas Day. 3 lads have just come into your house. Most of your mates have bounced out window and you've just got filled in.
Yeah.
You've got to do something.
I don't think I've got the bottle to run someone over, but maybe. You know,
who knows?
If you've just been showing up a little bit and you think, fucking, I'm gonna have to do something.
You got out car over day, mate. Fucking because someone beat it. So you can,
yeah,
I reckon
my
you
ass
could
would probably fall out if the back. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just more instinctual, like what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Like, why are you beeping?
I had a little bit today. It's always that same.
I think it's
junction,
with
bro.
us when we get to a certain level of a pressure point, whether we want to develop this or developing a self. We're both similar we're very different in character, me and you sometimes, but very similar in. It's always an emotional response from me. It's never a well thought out one. That's something that I've never really figured out.
That's your
I'm having the chimp, but I also see it as my kryptonite. Not my kryptonite, 'cause that's the wrong thing. It's a positive for me because I get stuff done now. That makes sense. I can air it, voice me thing, and then move on. Yeah. Whereas most people probably just tread through life, never really stepping up and stepping out. Like, I've always just done that. You've got to say what you feel, aren't you, almost? And I think me and you have got a bit... When you're in business, this is the sort of the first business that I've done in terms of a partnership. There's a lot of lessons to learn in that, you know, because he'll have his ideas of what he wants to create. I'll have mine, and you've got to communicate. And That's something that I need to learn to do.
Are you on about like awkward conversations and shit?
Well, it's not necessarily awkward conversation because I feel me and you can talk about most things, but when we're orchestrating this right now and we're trying to develop it on the fly with no business plan really, we're just trying to put content out there. Knowing what you want to create can change day by day for me. And we had a debate this morning. It's like sometimes I just want stuff to talk about, but maybe you don't need that. Maybe you just need that commitment in the diary to create and learn.
I get that, but I think if you sit about and wait to get something to talk about, you're waiting for nothing really. Like, when's the perfect time to sit down and have a conversation? And the reason why I like to do them every week is because I want to be a podcast host, so I want to do it. I want to do it as much as I possibly can.
You just have to, with me, sir. Ben Cocaine was similar with me. Just like, no, you'd be there at 3, mate. And it's only normally one rebuttal for me to have a bit of a reality check, thinking, well, I said I'd meet him at 3, so I should. Yeah. And that's that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like because usually I'd either agree with him, be like, all right, yeah, good idea. We'll just go out for some food and have a chat. But then I'm just like, no, I've got to do it.
Yeah, but I would have a guess. Like, I want to talk about this. That in your friendship group, no one tells you what to do, and in my friendship group, no one really tells me what to do.
Yeah,
so
maybe.
You've got like 2 biggish characters there who are trying to figure a business out.
This is the thing. This is why I say awkward conversations, because you like you just said there, people usually wouldn't sort. And if they did, I'd just ignore them. I was like, seeing a bit. Then like if I organise something with one of my friends to go for a meal or something and they bail on me, I'm just like, I just won't answer the phone until you turn up at my door and talk to me.
Yeah.
But I feel like now, especially because I want to do it, I'm just like, rather than shy away from stuff or shy away from these awkward conversations, I've just got to fucking man up, no matter how awkward it is. Because I had this conversation with Tom yesterday. I went and seen him and I said, I'm starting to try and have awkward conversations with people, family, friends, girlfriend and stuff like that. And it's one of them things where I don't like having awkward conversations at all, and I feel like they're going to take it wrong way and it's going to spark an argument. And then as soon as you have that awkward conversation with someone, they appreciate it. And the same with me. If someone comes to me...
I think your problem is, though, don't do it in written form.
Yeah.
Like today when we're not a back and forth, but just a little bit of a disagreement, I just always ring up then.
Yeah.
Because I feel I'm not a big texter anyway, and I feel it can be construed a different way. They might feel I've written it a certain way. He might feel he's written a certain way. Just, if possible.
It's all how you read it in your head, innit?
Yeah.
That's why I can never text my mum because she uses like ... exclamation marks.
Yeah, bro. Like, my mum's
like,
same.
just text me.
My mum's saying that I had a bit of a do with Emily the other day, and my mum's like, "Are you all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sound. I'm fine." But that wasn't at cameras then. Probably not. My mum said like, "Are you fine?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm absolutely fine." Then she texts me again like 50 minutes later, like, "Are you all right though?" And I'm like, "Fucking hell, yeah." I'm like, "I'd just tell you if I want fine," but like if it were in real life, she's like, "Are you sure you're all right?" It's just one of them. But in me, I'm like, "Fuck off, you annoying bastard."
I also feel there's like a conversation to be had there because it's on one hand we're trying to be podcasters and we're trying as best to do that and put content out there. But like some days I just almost, and I can't get into this mindset, that whole game and that whole scene sometimes just stresses me out.
Which scene?
Just, I don't know, because I'm torn between, how do I explain this? Putting out content that's got a bit of depth to it, but also leaning into the entertainment and leaning into long-form conversation, getting good guests on, or do we try and have the dynamic where it's just us and flowing ideas and stuff like that? But sometimes I just want to completely check out. And the problem with the device that we all have, it can be the best beneficiary to you for business, for making money, for making connections, for networking, for anything you can think of. But people also have access to you 24/7.
But you can stop that though, and that's what I do now. On a night time.
The only problem with that, I fully agree with that, because I could just turn it off, and nothing is going to end up being no, it's going to go major. The
world's not going to end, is it?
The world's not going to end. But just with client services, and maybe it's more my fault, people just chip at me, like, and you get it constant. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and leaving like, I won't mention any names, but you smite and guess who it's going to be. They're like texture that they clearly want something, but just then they'll try and check in on you.
Yeah.
I don't need checking in on me really. Like, I've got my shit figured out. So sometimes I just almost need that cut off. And I think I could probably do that just a day a week.
I think it is nice though when people do check in with you.
It's nice.
But not if they're like,
no, but I know,
how are you doing, pal?
No,
Yeah, good, mate. By the way, can you do me a favour?
If he checked in on me, I know it'd be, like, I know if he's going through something, then I'm not going to talk any business. There's no need to talk business. I'm just going to like, how you feeling, brother? And I actually mean that.
Yeah, so I noticed that, like, even from other days.
There's very few friends who do that. When you get a bit older, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this. There's going to be an ask. There's going to be something that you need me, whether time, energy, or brain for. Maybe I'm looking at it quite skeptical, because if you've built I'm torn there, because when I had nothing, I'd have been
Shouting out for
desperate
them.
to be in that position. So I've got to somewhat have a bit of a reality check sometimes. That is the path that I've forged for myself anyway. It's client service business. So you have to communicate with clients on a regular basis.
I get that, but there's also a separation. You can pivot from client services and people who are going to help you, and you actually getting something out of it, to people who are just fucking clawing onto your coat and trying to pull you down and pull you their direction to get your attention for a little bit and a bit of work. Bro, honestly, just do not disturb from like 7 o'clock at night and just put it on an hour after you wake up. That's what I do now. And I just try and I proper acknowledge I never go on TikTok or anything like that now. All I'll do is watch long form stuff, or I'll watch a bit of Instagram reels if I go on someone's page, or like a boxer who's got a fight.
Surprised you haven't
coming
like
up.
Twitter me, but I think that's just because your feed.
That's my Twitter, mate.
I just set up a new one and just curate your feed perfectly.
Yeah, I think I'd love Twitter, but it's just I can't tweet anything to anyone, because as soon as they click on my page, there's no respect for me right there, because it's just all fucking semi-on pictures and fucking. Yeah. I can't give no box. I can't call any boxes out on there, can I? But I feel like if I had a profile of my own,
I'd probably think about that.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. I just think I've got that many social medias and I can't focus on them all.
To be fair, it's
I've never really been a big fan of Twitter anyway, mate.
I'm a big fan of it. I like it.
I like to digest short snippets of information. That's just a quick download. That makes me think. Twitter makes me think. You're consuming in other feeds usually. You have to commit to, if you want to watch a podcast, you have to commit a decent chunk of time. But when I'm in that Twitter feed and I've really curated who I'm following, I can go on there for 10 or 15 minutes and just maybe get an idea. Yeah. That might incept in my brain, and I can it's there then, if that makes sense.
It's going to be valuable as well if it's only people that you follow.
I think I only follow like 15 people. So I'm very condensed with who I'm consuming in there, because it matters that, and I think that's part of the game for us. I sometimes fall into the trap of looking at like these, is it HS TikToky and Neon, and I'm more intrigued with how the fuck are these people doing what they're doing, and I'm in admiration of it. Like, they're clearly doing very, very well, but it's just somewhat a bit of a negative almost, that's just the way popular culture's leaning into.
Yeah.
And part of me then that probably condenses into this podcast is that what we've got to do? And I'm sometimes thinking, fuck, I don't want to do that. And
I'm just thinking, and it's just comes down to consistency, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah. And you'll find your tribe through just being consistent.
Yeah. The thing about that is you don't have to join their crew. And like I said to you last week, I watched 2 podcasts. One when I was driving back from Manchester, one when I drove the other way back, and 2 separate podcasts. And the guests got asked the same question, and it was like, what made you blow up so quick? One of them was that Jack Doherty, or whatever his name, who started flipping markers off.
I remember you saying it.
Yeah. And they were like, I had like 1.something million, and then I started doing the YouTube shorts, and I just shot up, and I was like, right, YouTube shorts. It don't mean that we have to go around just filming 30-second YouTube shorts, but if you do a 1-hour podcast and you chop it up into 20 good, attractive shorts, or same with a vlog, because you even say it yourself, if we put that one podcast out, we could film the fucking most entertaining, piss funny podcast right now, put it on there, nobody's going to find it.
Do you not think then here we use my brain for this, the ads?
The ads, yeah, I get the ads.
Can you remember, sorry to interrupt, what were you going to say
the only thing is you can't show them, you can't run an ad on this one length podcast and go, there you go, but you can put shorts on or
no, but
10-minute
there
clips.
you could be smart for the YouTube pre-roll of being smart, of enticing people in.
But I think the shorts is what entice people. It's like, would you you said the thing about Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
I wouldn't ever just search for a Joe Rogan podcast, but if I see one of Joey Diaz and I see him say funny things and I've not watched it,
maybe we're different, because that's what I do every night. I log into my pod, I listen to it, and that's what I'm going to on a night. That's my habit.
But how do you find the one you're going to listen to?
Well, I know that I only want to listen to a select few people. You know, you mentioned all these different people. I'm fairly, unless I'm having a bit of a scroll, then I'll try and I agree who jumps out, who's got the most sort of clickbaity thing, what gets me attention. But most of the people I listen to, I have a list in my head here who I go to them.
I just feel like then you're never going to venture out, and there could be so many other people like the conspiracy guys that you've started listening to. There's plenty of them out there, and if you find yourself interested in that.
Maybe with that, but the studier in me wants to read that then. So if I'm a fan of Graham Hancock, then now, because I've gone down that rabbit hole, yes, I can listen to his main points on podcasts, but I can get a book, which is his body of work is in that book. So if you want to study, then I need to study that me. That's how I do it now. Well, not as much anymore, but that's how I used to do it.
The only thing about books is I'm reading is 20 pages a day.
But try that, Alex or Moses stated, which I've done. So I've got Audible. I get a credit a month, which means a book a month, or I can buy more credits. But then as I'm reading it, I'm also listening to him say it. And he's got a theory there that you're taking way more of that information.
Really? I ain't tried that.
So you're only looking for the nuggets. And you've got to be careful. This is what I always... There's been periods in my business life where I've had to, because I haven't got the skill, I've had to study. But it's been for a reason, because I've lacked the skill, or I've needed to understand it. I couldn't comprehend it. But you've got to be careful not going into like analysis paralysis, where you're just studying for studying's sake. Because sometimes you've just got to go out there and do. I'm a big bit like, that's just, I could study this, that, and the other, but I've always learned from sort of, like, that didn't work, try again. And you can stand on shoulders of giants for sure. I've heard that phrase many a time. If you can learn from someone who's already failed and done what you've done, then you should. But I think some people lean too much into that. I'm seeing a lot of these coaches now who are just basically informing people to read other people's stuff, condense it, regurgitate it, then put it back out. Well, that's not an original idea. No. And that's not being you living your life. So that's just where I've got to find that balance of balancing personal life, balancing growing this, which is a huge passion, and then also the business side of stuff. It's just that. Maybe I'm just a little bit up and down with it. I think people are like that all the time.
Yeah. Did you see HS Tiki Toki's fight with Zerka?
Yeah.
I did end up watching it, yeah.
Do you think that was, first and foremost, was that real?
I feel like HS Tiki Toki's gone over to Miami to make some noise. So he's probably... He might not have had the conversation with Zerka, but he's probably Zerka's probably seen him and thought, I'll fucking go and put it on. And he's probably thought, that's fine, he can come and do it.
I'd do this for you, but we could get shot, me and you. Because if it came to it, he's getting left hooked in here, and I'm just like, for fuck's sake.
If it's organic and that Zerka's turned up to try and be a big man on stream and fucking HS Tiki Toki's give it to him, then I respect that. I respect what HS Tiki Toki's done. But if they like organise that, like, you'll have a bit of a scuffle, and then that's not... To be fair, there were no like knockout or like serious damage done.
Like a little bit of a throw or a trip.
He threw him, and then as he got back up, I think he did land a left hook and drop him a bit. But then Zerka got on top of him, and then HS.
He's a big boy though, isn't he?
He must be fucking 260 pounds.
He's a big boy.
Like
He's big, like.
And that HS is like, Zerka, please, man, get up. Nah, I can see where HS is coming from, because you've had the little do. Right,
it got to a bit of a stalemate on floor.
Yeah, it's not good.
Anyway,
but
so.
or would Zerka have fucking maybe beat him on floor there, and he's panicked a bit. But either way, it's entertaining to watching it. But these streamers, mate, I watch.
I'm more intrigued. Like, that is just the way popular culture's going.
Do you know what Bradley Martin said to Neon, and it makes total sense? They're literally just, the streamers are just like 2023 reality TV show stars.
What I don't get though, when they're like going live and streaming and stuff like that, who's watching them at these times?
Must be kids, mate.
Yeah,
has to be kids.
Fuck knows, bro.
Especially when they're going live and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Conspiracy in my brain would be, if I were a businessman there, but like, find a way on is it called Kick?
Yeah.
To show donations, and then it might intrigue some people to actually donate.
Yeah.
Like that. That's just a conspiracy for me, but that shows that it's first move as an advantage. Like, they've seen that someone's donated. Oh, maybe I donate. Maybe I get a shout out. Maybe I get this. It's all to get recognition for people doing dumb shit.
Yeah.
Which ain't good for society. It ain't good for no one, that. So that's just where my head's at with it. I'm more intrigued because we have to learn. You're correct. Why spend the energy to conversate and get good at long-form conversation if it's not feasible to grow that audience? You've got your core group of 500 who are watching, which, let's say it's 500 to 2,000 people who are consistently watching. It's still a lot of eyes, but to get to that sort of next level of 10K consistently, 20K consistently, you probably have to find a way to branch out to attract new audience in through these means, and then try and get them locked into actual content where boys are speaking about or trying to speak about meaningful things in their life, whether it be training, fighting, nutrition, sleep, personal development. These are the things that intrigue me. And I just don't want to find us falling into that.
I'd never fall into that. I wouldn't want to do it. What I do is I watch people like Bradley Martin, who's a similar age to us, Mike, Impulsive.
Mike's very impressive. I'm very impressed with Mike.
I think Mike's the person who I kind of most want to
I could
have
see
that same lifestyle as.
I think you could do that, but his style of vlogging could be very much curated to you. I like what Mike does, man. He's He's very smart, is Mike.
I read about the Mike who...
Mike
we like-
Malak. He's
Yeah,
Logan
yeah,
Paul's
yeah.
right-hand man almost, isn't he? I think Logan...
Yeah.
Like,
He suffered from addiction, didn't he, for quite a while?
I think he
Homeless.
on crack pipe and
Homeless
everything.
crackhead, yeah.
He's got a book called The Fifth File, is it? I've
Have
not read
you
his
seen that
book.
he's just opened a burger place? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he does. He goes around and rates burgers everywhere, doesn't he? So it's no surprise.
Because it's funny you mention that one. I'm a big Dave Portnoy fan. So he comes from a business background and then gambling and stuff like that. And he was sort of the first person to have a blog, you know, like a written blog. And then he's gone into all sorts of things. But Barstool Sports were his baby. And he just bought it back for $1.
Did he?
Yeah.
What's going on there then? Why has he sort of sold it for millions and buys
Because
it back for
what
$1?
usually happens in a business there, not to Dave Portnoy's level, but I've had a lot of friends who have sold out. So the business has got to a certain level where don't mean it's profitable. It might have been turning over hundreds of millions, but like the question is, was it profitable and who was holding it together? So they've bought it out of this big firm, realised it's probably hemorrhaging cash, needed Dave to come back in and just let him buy it back for... It's not worth anything if it's not generating cash flow. I might be butchering that story, but that's what he's done. He's got back involved because he was the face of it. Mm-hmm. So he's back there just doing... And he it's funny you mentioned Mike's burger reviews there because I'm not saying Mike
They had a bit of
copied
beef,
him.
didn't they?
I'm not saying he copied him, but Dave Portnoy has done pizza reviews since I can remember. And it's always the same, rating out of 10, one bite. And he's done that since I can remember. And he's got that much influence now that if he goes to these burger places, it can change that business's sort of trajectory and push. So there's loads of ideas and people to work with. We've just got to understand this demographic and try and speak to them. But play the game where we can. You know, you've got a lot of exciting things you do in your life, specifically the fighting. And I hope you can find some level with that because I think you've got all the potential in the world. And I think you're toying with this idea of leaning into MMA. After you watched that fight, mate, I watched it back again. I was fucking very impressed with that. Like, tell the truth of that. I don't understand the level of competition we're against, but how did you train for that fight?
Are we talking about...
You showed me the
K1?
fight where he come in close and he let something go and it frustrated you, and then you put it on him heavy.
Yeah.
And it ended up being a no contest, but
Yeah. So that for a British title fight, I'd been training at Sweatbox for about 3 or 4 months. I'd not trained in like 2 years. And then I trained for 3 or 4 months, said, I'll get a fight. I fought against this guy called Scott Davis in Bradford and stopped him in first round, knocked him down 3 times. He was meant to fight for a title fight the week after. So obviously he had to drop out because he had a bit of head trauma. So his runk promoter and said, I can't fight this weekend. I got stopped. So I'm pulling out. He said, who against? Oh, the guy called Ellis Lacy. So promoter then comes to me. That guy you just beat, he went to fight for a title this weekend. Do you want to do it? Yes, let's do it. And this is, by the way, one of these... I was at that level where I wasn't even cutting for fights. I was just walking around at 84 kilo, probably juiced up, and just going, I'll have a fight at 84 kilo.
Yeah.
This guy who I fought, that Kyle Rowlands, owns a gym. He's the coach there. But I wasn't really asked. Turned up, did the face-off, and what he did was he palmed me in the face. Ref went to split up, which pissed me off. So I'm usually quite respectful. It's probably the downside to my fighting recently.
I think 100%. I want you to continue the story, and then we'll go back to that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I've got softened in my old age. I think I've just got a bit too much respect for some people.
Yeah.
So then the fight was going normal for the first 15 seconds, and then as the ref split us up, he pushes me in the face. I'm like, what the f*** are you doing, you little cunt? So I'm like, right then, you're not even getting a shot in now.
Yeah, you seem to go up about 3 gears.
Yeah, and then I just fucking... I just knew I was going to stop him in first round then, so I just fucking did what I did. And he was being a pussy, bro. I need him straight in solar plex there. He went down and went, balls, and the ref comes over, smug, goofy little ball prick, and goes...
You didn't like him, did you?
Mate, he were a dickhead.
Yeah, you didn't like
He's
him.
a
I
proper
could see
dickhead.
that towards the end. He didn't want to shake his hand, I could tell.
He were a knobhead. And he was like, oh, you know what you did there? You hit him in the balls. I'm like, what are you on about balls? So he got a bit of time to recover. And then as I dropped him, I like finished a combination off with what would have been a low kick, but as he's dropping down, it sort of hits him on his shoulder / neck. And he comes up, you kicked a ground opponent. I'm like, what are you talking about, you pudding? So the fight got no contest. Then ISKA reviewed it and said, no, that's definitely a fucking win, send him belt. So they sent me belt then. But the reason I want to get into MMA is because obviously that if anybody asks me what do you love most, MMA, K1, boxing, I always say MMA. It was my favourite. And then I've done 3 wrestling sessions since in the last couple of weeks, and now I'm like, I'm gonna train at AVT. I messaged Danny and he's like,
I think that'd be cool for you.
100%. I think
Good little gang there.
I don't want to say to Danny, I'll do a bit of work with you like Josh Gudgeon did, but if Danny wanted to do
I'm
something.
sure collectively we can all do a deal there. I'm very impressed.
Not that I'm being a tight bastard, and it's only
but
75 quid a week a month.
Is that what it costs?
75 a month.
Get
Yeah.
it fucking spent, you tight cunt.
Yeah, no, I should do, but then I just think
no.
it could be a little partnership for me there.
I want to save the 75 nicker.
No, you're right there. That's what I'm doing.
For 75 quid, pay the man.
Yeah, too right.
I was impressed by him when we went to, I don't know if we've talked about this, but we went to Octagon. But I was impressed by the fighting, obviously, but his historical brain,
Bro.
and his fascination and understanding of family trees and going back. He
Have I
found
told you
out
about history?
Yeah, tell him what he was telling you
Have I told you
regarding
about family history?
the Lacy clan.
Bro,
He basically owns Ponty
bro.
Castle. He basically owns Ponty Castle.
I'm literally waiting for deeds to come through. I own Ponty Castle now. Bro, our great-great-great-grandfather came over to England with William the Conqueror. You know,
Right.
you know what that is? They came from Normandy, from a city or town in France called Lacy. That's where the Lacy name comes from. So William the Conqueror basically said, right, boys, there's 35s in this room or whatever, we're fucking going straight over to England. I'm going to give you all a town. So he gives, I can't remember what his first name is, but whoever his great-grandfather Lacy is, right, you're having Pontefract. And it's all on the internet, it's legit, I've researched it after. But Danny reeled this off to me a week or two after our podcast. It's like he studied it all. We were just sat watching fights and he goes, see that guy there, commentator and thing? I went, yeah, he's called...
Lacy.
no, he's called something Lacy, but spelt with an E.
Yeah, that was it.
I can't remember what his name is now. We followed each other on Instagram. He was like, "He's your cousin, him." I'm like, "Fuck off." He's like, the reason that I enjoyed doing your family tree was because I'd already done his, and I know, and yours, you link up somewhere down the line. So he's like, so William the Conqueror's got all of his boys, got on the ship, come over to England, give your great grandfather Ponty Castle, and then he told me how my nana's family had come over from Dublin, and they were like they worked in glass blowing in Doncaster. Then they met. So yeah, we've got Ponty Castle owners in his blood, mate.
Just waiting for keys.
Now shout out Danny Mitchell. If
Big shout out to
if
Danny
you're
Mitchell.
interested in family tree, hit Danny up.
100%. And what? It's not as if Danny just Googles it and it all pops up for him, because when I started looking at some of it, I can tell how he's gone down that path, because I was finding certain bits that he sent me and certain people and stuff.
Yeah.
And then he went to me and was like, is Keys in it? Do you know anyone called Keys in our family? My nana Glennis, his second name was Keys.
All right.
I didn't know that.
I didn't have a clue.
And he was like, your nana's granddad came over from Dublin, and then her dad was, I can't remember what he said now, but he basically just told me my full family history, mate, and it was a bit crazy. It was actually good, to be honest. It was like, if
It'd
someone
be
had
nice to see it visually.
Yeah,
if someone had just, I've got screenshots of like what my granddad
But I
looked
like that idea, what it was saying, where you could get a booklet and it told a story of the sort of the lineage and taking it all the way back. And I'm just nervous, mine will just be from Airedale. all of them just fucking, it suits me to the ground.
All related as well.
And then I'll just be like, I've got to break the pan.
You already have though. You moved to fucking, what's that classed as?
It's Red Hills
Oh yeah, fair one. Come to Manchester, mate.
You're not selling me on it.
No, to be fair. It's fucking all over the place in it moment, bro.
He ain't selling me on it.
I can tell you actually this, right? So, do you know why I really rang you the other day after you left mine?
Why?
And you can, and we haven't even spoke about this, so I'm hoping that the way I looked at it was the same. You remember when Emily spelt the 2 words wrong on Scrabble?
Yeah.
And I said to her, "That's not how you spell them."
Yeah.
And she got defensive, didn't she?
Can I just pause a second?
Yeah.
How, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being verbally abusive and the worst you could possibly speak to a woman, 1 being just raising the point that it was spelt wrong. Where was he? Just don't look at him.
About 1, 2.
Right, okay.
Just do an impression of what I did.
No, you can't spell that.
That's all I did, right?
Oh, that's not right.
But 2 words on the bounce, so obviously she got a bit embarrassed because she spelt 2 words wrong and they were simple words.
And how horrific is the spelling?
It's just
She only forgot an E off at end, or something like that, wasn't
yeah,
it?
it's not mad, but she struggles to spell anyway. So I just like, so then she got it. She went, "Why are you talking to me like that?" And I'm just like, so I just didn't even react. And then she went to get up, and I thought she was going to walk off from the game because she was embarrassed. So I went like, in fact, you tell me. Bear in mind, I'm going to show Emily this because
Maybe she's got dyslexia though, and you just pulled her up.
No, she has got dyslexia, so she obviously got it. You know, when she got up and went to walk away, if you can remember, tell me exactly what I won't even look at you. Tell me exactly what I said.
See in a bit.
That's all I said. I went, see you in a bit then. But, so obviously she got a bit embarrassed and she went, "I'm not even, what are you on about? I'm getting cheesecake." And I went, "Oh, fair, when I thought you were leaving." So she come back, everything was fine. As soon as you walked out of that door, she went to me, I'm not happy with you. I went, why is that? She went, I'm not having you talk to me like that. I'm like,
I feel the searing a bit. It's a bit harsh.
the searing a bit what harsh. So straight away I went like this. I went, I'll tell you what I will apologise for. I thought you were going to leave. I didn't realise you're getting cheesecake. So I apologise for that. Let's not argue. I'm tired. You're hormonal. Let's call it a bad day. Apologise to each other and forget about it. That's how adults deal with a little bit of an argument. She went, I apologised. And I went, all right, so that's fine. I don't need an apology from you. She went, well, when I went to get up, you went, see you in a bit then, Dave. And I was like, no, it might not have been Div, it was like something else. And I'm like, I didn't say that. And so I went, here, then we'll find out what I said. I rung you. You didn't answer.
The joy of love.
Bro.
Do you know what I'm saying?
It's crazy though. You know, it fucking really pisses me off when I remember conversations really well, even to the point of like every single word. And she'll go, no, you didn't. You said this, and then just say something. I'm like, that's not what I said. And she's like, yeah, you did. I'm it makes my fucking blood boil.
You just need them Ray-Bans on so it's recording 24/7.
Mate,
You could
my
just
fault,
tap
exactly.
You could just tap into it. Like,
it happened that
straight
much
back.
with the fucking Crazy Ex. I actually bought a voice recorder, and I was like willing to walk around the house with it, and then just wait for him to be like,
it's not normal, this, you know.
no, it's not.
I just want to point that out.
It's not normal
I've
whatsoever,
never
bro.
ever once in my life thought I needed a voice recorder to track and incriminate the girlfriend.
There's some past traumas, mate. Past traumas have done me a bit dirty. So then after this, the day after, I was sat on my laptop. She brought me food over. I went, oh, thank you. I had a bite of it. She looked at me and went, sighed, walked off. And I'm like, Emily. She just didn't come back. Turns out it was because she didn't like how I were eating my wrap anyway. But she ended up leaving. And I'm like, I don't want her to drive back to Manchester, like, in case anything happens. So I'm like, drive safe, love you. And she's like, no, you don't. Slams the door and bounces. So I'm like, Jesus Christ. And then I'm texting, I'm like, listen, this needs to stop. We need to sort arguments out before it gets anywhere. And then I said, if it done, I'm not joking. It's going to make me feel like I don't want to be around, like, in the relationship anymore. Just a little subtle, as if to say, stop being fucking like that. Just sort arguments out. She's took it wrong way. Next day, we've had a conversation on phone, and she's like, oh, I don't need you anymore. Fuck you. Puts phone down. I'm just like looking at your phone like, Jesus Christ, like, what is going on right now?
We can blur this out, but you've launched the official.
No.
Are you gonna?
Yeah, it's going to get launched in 29th of November. I've got...
What's that? We can't talk about it, but
I can't really talk about it
we
now.
keep moving, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Got an assessment on 29th of November, so I'll just...
Blur this out, but it's been...
It's not looking,
Swear down, like, you maybe can blur this out, or just we can keep it for comedy value. But it come round to mine the other day, and when we're talking business, my missus isn't really that keen. But Ellis used to come round a fair bit. We'd have a nod smoke, and we'd put will to rights for sometimes 4 hours, wasn't it? As best podcasts are the ones that probably will never go out because we're just sat talking and chatting. But my missus' ears pricked up as soon as there was like a fucking sign of a bit of drama, and she came and sat down.
yeah. I didn't even know she was sat there. She was sat like out
as he
of
was
view.
telling me the story, because I think like him, I'm like, and he was like, yeah.
As soon as that happened, mate, I put my headphones on, went for a walk, and I was just thinking, he was like, and I'm like, actually, yeah. And it didn't well, so I'm probably have to go and stick around, I think. So
tell us because it made me laugh this week. There's the story of when you've let me get this right. Microdose the chocolate mushrooms, a gram of magic mushrooms, and you've just chosen to go on a midnight walk, shadowboxing, parading down the street. Tell us that story. What's going through you head when you're doing that?
It just felt so right
That's
at the time.
That's good, though.
Just felt so, and I don't regret it whatsoever. I'm not like cringe. You know, like when you go on a night out and you'd say or do something
I'd
cringy.
love to have just drove past, not knowing either who he was, and just him shadowboxing and just having a little move around down, just past Glass Hour, and I was like, it's fucking tremendous.
Yeah, I loved it. I was driving home from Manchester and I listened to Jake Paul and Aubrey Marcus' podcast.
What did you think to that? Bit deep.
Yeah, I feel like there's too much spiritual talk for me.
I don't like saying this, but I listen to Aubrey Marcus a lot, and he were on my podcast. There's like 5 people I listen to. He's been kicked off because he just went a little bit too much for even me.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued by that spiritual side and that, but it's gone too much. He used to speak a bit about business, fitness, and get guests on who were fighters and, who had life experience. And now he seems to just get these, like, fucking mad witches on and shit.
Do you know what's a no-go for me? When they're telling the story where they're all sat in a circle with a shaman inside the hut, they've done ayahuasca. Obviously, they're high on fucking ayahuasca, which is whatever you're looking at is not real. Is it? It's not as if it puts some magical spirit into you and you can see a demon walk through. I know they tell them stories and shit.
Well, there's the only thing I think with that, and I want you to debate this, that there's 2 options there. It's either a psychedelic chemical experience in your brain which is making you hallucinate, or what if it does open up a passage, though. What if it does?
I think it might open up a passage, but I don't think the spirits that you can see can actually physically harm you.
I think if it does open up a passageway, it'd be way more talked about than it is, and it'd be somehow controlled by government already. There'd be you won't be able to just.
Yeah, but it is a Class A drug.
It is, but you can freely go to Amazon and just do what you need to do.
Yeah,
I feel like
99% of the population will not be able to fund an Amazonian trip.
Yeah,
it's a very select few who have means, the connections, and the financial backing to get over there.
I think I'd have to go and do it to have a proper say on it.
That to me is the best vlog we could make right now.
And I'm game for that.
Us going to Peru, wherever we choose to go. What's the one that I'm going to butcher?
It's going to cost £1,500 to £2,000 max, I think, for a week in Amazon, fucking Peru, wherever you want to do.
Yeah, let me just try and find this as we keep talking.
So I watched this podcast, and all they're doing is talking about how amazing psychedelics are. And I'm thinking, I've got that chocolate mushroom at home. I've not touched it. I was going to do it last week and didn't. Usually, if I were going to do that, I'd prep for it properly, and I wouldn't have caffeine. I wouldn't eat on day or leading up to it whatsoever. I'd already had food that morning. I probably even had a coffee. And I was driving home, and I just thought, nah, I'm doing it. Feels like I should do it. Got home, did a bit of tidying up, had the chocolate, sat there journaling. Half an hour later, wall started going a bit wavy. I was like, didn't really plan what I was going to do. Yeah. I thought, I'll start off with a bit of red light stretching. So I went upstairs, put my goggles on, did a bit of stretching in front of red light, did a bit of breath work. And I'm one of them, I'm a bit fidget on mushrooms. I always think the other room's going to be better. I'm like, no, I want to chill in that room. Then I'll go in there and I'm like, no, this is shit. I'm going to go in the other room. And and then I ended up finding a decent setting, which was just back into that red light room. So I was doing my breath work and I found this one that was 40 minutes long and it said, rewire your brain. So but it says it's intense. So I thought, fuck it. Have you done breath work before?
No.
Bro, if you do it intense anyway, if you do it like mildly intense, you get pins and needles. If you do it a bit more, you'll get like a bit of cramping in your fingers. I did it that intense, bro, that I came around, I had that camo jacket on because it was nice and comfy. I came around, I was sweating like fuck. I'd done about 20 minutes, my arms were locked in that tight like this, cramped up that I felt like my ligaments or something were going to snap.
You not just think you're asphyxiating yourself though?
Probably. I don't know though, because you're over-oxygenating.
Yeah, but you're doing a lot of holds though, aren't you?
Yeah, but the holds...
It sounds to me like you just suffocating yourself.
Yeah, I'm not suffocating
because
like, I don't need just come all over. So, because when I came around, I was sweating because I was like, my body didn't know what was going on. I was trying to undo my jacket with my fingers like this, mate. I finally got it off. Managed to stretch out my forearms on the floor. Went downstairs, just started scranning out food, and I was just starving. I had that much of a food baby in me. I rung Emily and I was like, I think I'm going to go for a walk. And it was like 8 o'clock at night or whatever. I stuck my headphones on and I just felt mint. And I was just walking. It was proper starry. And usually I'd come out of my estate and go up that back road near KFC. But I'd be like making sure I walk normal, checking see if people look at me when they come by, seeing if I know anyone, like a bit cautious, bit overthinking, thinking about business, thinking about life. I didn't think of nothing else apart from I had J. Cole blasting in my headphones, mate. I just felt like I was some sort of fucking rap god, and I was just walking up the street, rapping, dancing, shadowboxing me. Like, I could see me shadow on the floor, and I was like throwing shots at myself. Didn't care if anybody were looking or thinking I was like local crackhead. Some minutes I'd just be looking up at stars, like just fucking didn't care about anything. Did a 3-mile walk, mate, with my mind fully clear. Sat down, I was buzzing. Emily ran away, and she sat down and she was like, "You feel good?" I was like, "Feel fucking class." I mean, just like genuinely reset my brain. Felt good. I might just do one of them just like once a month.
So I've just got this here. The centre where I want to go is called the Soltara Healing Centre.
I've heard of it, yeah.
And they must have multiple locations now. So they've got some in the Playa Blanca, that's Costa Rica. They've got some in the Sacred Valley, Peru. I don't know if you can see that picture there where you'd sit. And in terms of the price points, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. A 5-night ayahuasca retreat, which includes 3 ayahuasca ceremonies, which is 5 nights, 6 days, focused immersion, all-inclusive pricing, is priced between $3,000 to $6,250, depending on your digs. Obviously, you've got to get out there. I feel like 7 and 12 nights might be a little bit too much for me.
Oh, mate. But you'd definitely come back.
I think a 5-nighter there would be great.
Yeah.
All the integration, which I feel is most important. Well, these in the Sacred Valley here, look at these.
Bro, I'm game for one of them.
I think that's a good investment into us development and also a huge investment into the channel.
I should have just not paid for my fucking teeth to get implants. I'd have saved me. I'd have paid for us both then.
Yeah, in case you like jump off this sacred thing and just break all your teeth.
No, just because I'd rather do an ayahuasca retreat than have a decent smile.
Yeah. I feel that would be That could be the one for me.
Yeah.
To really strip it all back, deal with any trauma there, and just at 35 be able to move ahead. Because at 35, I feel like I'm just getting started, mate. Which is strange.
I feel like I'm just starting to figure shit out. So, by the way, I would never usually celebrate something like this because, one, it's a bit fucking like people watching and be like, so what if you start smoking weed for 30 days? But today,
it's a big thing for you.
Today
yeah, I'll give you
is
that.
the 15th, the last time. Thank you, Keegan. Thank you, everyone.
No, I'll give you that,
Right.
mate, because you've been very committed to that, and you've been headstrong. Because I'll tell the truth, when you came around the other day, you were eyeing it up.
I was just saying if
No.
you'd been smoking it, that's all that was. Bro, trust me,
No, you were eyeing it up, though.
I would never.
I thought you were eyeing it up.
No.
Because it's one of these, you have a little look at joint, then look at your eyes, you're like...
You were debating.
There were an inkling of debate thinking,
Tell it,
But-
honestly, no debate there.
You were debating a vape though when Emily kicked off at you.
No, I weren't, bro. Honestly, I don't know what it is. It's not as if I've found a vice to get myself off it. It's just like I came back, I realised how important discipline is, and that's the thing that's lacking. And me letting myself down by thinking, oh, come on, I can have one vape, I can have one joint. That just being a pussy to myself and not holding myself accountable. That's what we're doing me over. And now I fucking feel like a new man. I went to see Josh and Tom. Obviously, Josh is a big stoner. He went, oh, we'll go to David Lloyd's gym. We'll have a gym sesh spa. And we'll have a big spliff. And I'm like, nah, don't do it anymore. And he's like, nah, but one. And I'm like, no. And then he sent me a voice message today. And he's like, do you want to book Amsterdam at December time? It's cheap. I'm like, no.
yeah, that's a place you shouldn't visit.
No.
There's no need.
And I love Amsterdam. Obviously, if I went there, I would have to smoke. So I'm just.
Holmes is toying with this idea, but I don't think you're going to get the green light to do a few nights in Tenerife after this fight.
He mentioned it. I don't think I don't want to booze, nothing, bro. I'm just
I
like.
think we'll just have a fly in, fly out.
You know what happens on a fly in, fly out, doesn't it? It's like fly in, stay up for 3 days. Fly
No,
out.
I don't feel we'd do that. I don't think we would. I mean that. I don't think I would
Do you
do
not
that.
think any of them BKFC boys are doing that?
Heavy beak.
Yeah.
But I don't.
What are you going to do? Nah, I got them all right, guys. Nah, not tonight. Nah. You're like, I'd have been out in a couple of weeks or a couple of months or whatever.
Maybe stay away then.
Yeah, I mean, by all means.
Well, I booked Gran Canaria, haven't I?
Yeah. I know what you booked that for, though.
I can't. See, to be fair, though, when I've read the reviews, I don't think it's as in your face as you're making out. I don't know if you've been to the wrong part.
I haven't been to Gran
To be
Canaria.
fair-
There's
to
a
be fair,
reason.
When we were over in Tenerife,
I think it's
like
gay.
strike
I think
Gran
it's one of the gay capitals now, where
Big.
it seems to attract.
Is it?
Big gay capital, yeah.
Yeah, but it is what, mate. I'm
Get
on,
straight
all my
there for
fucking, all my
OnlyFans there.
best mates are fucking. You can't say that about gay. You two fucking. That's who pays your bills.
It is. They bought this coffee, mate. You weren't here for that Sam Holmes podcast, were you?
No.
Josh sat right here, right? And we said to each other, and I went, bro, just try doing no weed for a week. And he goes, right, I'll do a week. I'm going to text my missus. This was on Monday. I went to his house on, Wednesday? No, Thursday morning I went after you'd been to Bennett's for meal. You went for a steak.
I don't smoke on mornings, so let's just get
No,
that.
no.
Let's get
That's
that
not
out.
what I'm saying.
All right.
You'd gone for a steak on Wednesday afternoon.
Yes.
I'd gone to his Thursday morning. Didn't mention it for the first time, but you were a bit like, I could tell you were a bit groggy than usual. I went, you relapsed last night? He went, yeah. Yeah, I did, yeah. And I was like, fuck, bro, come on, it's 3 days.
Well, yesterday, I think other day, first time I just did it in front of him. I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
In front of who?
Well, you.
Oh, in front of me?
Yeah, because if normally you'd come round, I'd just like, I miss that miss that round.
Yeah.
And I'll get back involved when it's gone.
And tell him I didn't do it.
Listen, maybe it is a vice that I've got, but for now, it's a vice I fucking need, mate.
Why do you need it, though? Are you still smoking?
If I don't shut off on an evening, which I could sober, no doubt, but I'll say sorry to my clients here, for some of the videos that I'm editing sometimes, I'd just rather be high doing it than just sit through that and edit stuff that I don't want to edit sober. And I can sit there, for 4 hours and just churn it out. I got ahead the other day. I think I did 6 pieces of content that I've been putting off for a while, and made a big headway into the vlog for let me get it right, Breathe.
Yeah.
And just other multiple things that I'd just been putting off, which for me sometimes, I don't know. I'm not trying to justify it, because should I stop? Absolutely. Am I advocating that it needs to happen? No. But just for this interim period, it is a huge relief for me to be able to have that little bit of a...
I'm going to play other side of the fence, though, now. You just said then I had 6 pieces of content I'd been putting off. Do you genuinely think if you weren't stoned, or if you didn't you weren't in that routine, do you think you would have put them 6
It's not
tasks
that I'm
off?
putting it off, and I'm not saying your boys' jobs are any more difficult than mine. You're probably more disciplined. You're probably a little bit more structured and regimented than I am, right? I've never been a regimented person. I'll just work really, really hard. I'm passionate. I'll push, and that's what's got me to where I am now. But being in a sales environment is fucking ultra, ultra stressful. I don't care what anybody says. In the industry that I'm in, which is selling motorhomes, it's feast and famine. And it requires a lot of bandwidth where sometimes I just want to check out from that. The route to not do that is to understand when I'm redlining too much to be able to sprint and recover adequately. Not just sprint, get stressed, get a little bit fucking quote unquote depressed, and then just work through that, which is so hard to do. I should just take interim breaks. And that's what the missus wants. The missus will want that. The missus just wants time with me. So what I should be smart there is sporadically through, even every a couple of days a month, just go away. And that in itself would be a reset for me. But as the workloads increase for me, that is my little escape, whether it's right or wrong. Leaning more into wrong because it's not good for you. Because I bought a vaporizer on the understanding that, well, maybe that would be healthy for me, but I still like to smoke it. So that ain't... I spent 400 quid on a vaporizer, which is sat there doing nothing.
But I think it's that routine of passing a joint and...
It's nice, isn't it?
Lighting it.
It is nice.
It is nice.
Yeah.
It is.
I still smoke a couple of American Spirits today, mate.
Yeah.
These are vices that I need to knock. I'm understanding of that. I actually said to myself, because whether it's true or not, the literature states that once you get... Smoking's not good for you, but once you get to 35, I feel it's detrimental.
I got a few cigars over in Tenerife, to be fair.
Cigars are nice. Cigars are nice, and you shouldn't take them back, obviously. So I feel you're just getting that mouth nicotine, and it's a nice... I've never been a big cigar man, but I do get the lure to it and the pull to it. I think if you get really nice ones, the
I got a few blonde ones with like a vanilla flavour. They were nice. They're really nice, to be fair.
Russ making some fucking cigars full time now.
Is it?
Yeah. When we went to the race meet, we were just buying it in front of me. Like, give me one.
Did you have one?
Yeah. So did our lads.
What, you didn't film it for intro?
No. They're only like little miniatures, but they were nice. He takes them back as well. The fucking
Does he
mad
really?
cunt. Yeah,
Honestly, I don't know what the fuck switched in my head, bro. But I don't want to drink at all.
the drinking thing I get.
But the drinking thing.
There is no... With my... I shouldn't learn... Like today, I've tried to come in a more relaxed state, so I can definitely control my ADHD.
Yeah.
I can control it through... I've just lifted before this, so I come into it in a little bit more mellowed state. I've come into the podcast today not trying to be too fucking like...
You don't need to be hyped up. You don't need to be fucking energised.
Yeah.
And, let's get fired up.
I can control that, and know I can. And you can definitely control it by better means. Meditation, exertion, studying, reading. Like, a lot of the good habits I had have been replaced by marijuana, which is wrong. I used to go on big walks every day, and that was a staple in my sort of mindset, a connection with nature, the ability to get out and no headset and just walk. I used to do that. I've got over most traumas in my life through going on long walks, but weed, rightly or wrongly, I had to go back to this debate, is an immediate release. You haven't got to drive somewhere. It's laziness, because you haven't got to push yourself through a tough workout, or to push yourself through a chapter of a book, or to push yourself through a guided meditation, all requires effort. So there's definitely better ways to do that. For the interim, we'll just fucking see where it goes.
No, I know. I get what you're saying.
It don't affect my workload. If anything, it keeps me more sane. What I should do is have the detriment for me is when you mention the grogginess is it will make me stay up later. So where I would naturally want to go to bed, usually now 10:30ish, I can offset that till midnight, which has a knock-on effect to the next day, which is what life's about. If you take it a day at a time, if you're like the groove you're in at the minute, you're trying to maximize that day, knowing full well that tomorrow you will feel optimal again, and that's what people need to stack. And it, like you're correct there, that if there's a vice or certain habits in that lifestyle there that's making you feel bad the next day, those days compound, and that's when depression and mood is definitely altered through marijuana, because you're not showing up next day.
Yeah, I think it's sleep that's improved massively for me, because same if I smoke at 9 o'clock at night and I go home, and the worst thing is the time that I fucking stay up till midnight, I'm sat doing nothing. I'm sat trying to watch TikToks or fucking having a tug or just doing something.
I've never had a tug on it.
Have you not?
I've jumped on our last a bit, but
Yeah, I don't mind a little tug. Sometimes I fall asleep mid because I'm stoned as fuck, but that's what I've noticed. Then I'll wake up the next day groggy, head's fried, I can't figure out what I want to do. But then as soon as you start to come round about 7 p.m, maybe I can have a joint, I feel all right actually. Then it just carries on. Like now I've realised I'm waking up fresh and I'm like, my head's organised throughout the day. Last night I slept at that Airbnb, I woke up, I don't know why. If I haven't set an alarm, I'll wake up at 5 and panic and think I've overslept. And that's what I did last night, even though I set an alarm for 7. I woke up, the room was pitch black, it had blackout blinds. I was like, shit, I've overslept, I need to check out. Checked my phone 2 in the morning, did it again at 4, did it again at 5, so my sleep last night was ruined. So today, I've pulled through still, and I've been quite productive on the editing and coming to podcasts and stuff, but I can tell, and my whoop straps told me, I'm like 35% recovered because I had a shit sleep.
Yeah, for sure.
Whereas tonight, I'm not going to train today. Tonight, I'll get a good night routine, I'll sleep well. I won't set an alarm in the morning. I'll probably get up about 7, and I know I'll be primed again tomorrow. And I haven't felt primed. Remember when Danny Christie said, I get out of bed and I spring out and I'm like, I'm jealous because I haven't had that in years. I'm starting to get that now.
I think that's a mindset though, mate, sometimes, mate. Not necessarily feeling like that.
It's a mindset.
That's a lens to see through.
Yeah.
That if with Danny there, probably like that he will, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but if he feels like he's wasted some of his time through partying and drug misuse and just whatever he's been doing, then he don't want to waste time now.
Yeah, he's getting it back now.
He's trying to get it back. So for him, if he's been reborn again there, which it would feel like that, you've got your life back on track and you're on the right path, you're going to fucking wake up like that. That's the key for me. It's not... You have to master the mundane because there's a lot of mundane tasks in life that you just have to do. Like people lean into this sort of philosophy now that you've got to love what you do. I don't necessarily always believe that. You've got to do what's necessary sometimes, and that's just what I believe. But you need things to look forward to. And for me, it goes back to my network marketing days there, where some of the mentors in my life were stating that you need stuff in the calendar to work towards. Otherwise, you're in Groundhog Day, which no one wants. You almost feel like then you've just created more and more jobs for yourself. Yeah. There needs to be a benefit for all that work. There needs to be an end goal, a date of completion. And I think sometimes we don't really do that. I know we set a goal to hit 10K by Christmas, which I still hope we can do, and we'll push towards that. But it's then I know me and you think like, then it's just going to be like, well, that's forgotten about. What's next?
But
what's next?
I even say this on this video that I've just started editing. So that's all good and well. We've got a goal for 10K. And I even say it on that video, I'm like, I've got a goal and it could be this. And once I reach that goal, it's the next goal. But in fact, I'll tell you it perfectly here. Emily's mum said to me the other day, she went, I don't know what goes on with this podcast or how long it takes to like make something of it, but like I hope everything's going well. And I'm like, if this takes 10 years to set me up for the rest of my life and I get to a position where I want to be speaking to similar people to what Stephen Bartlett does, big people who've got good stories. Yep. If it takes 10 years to get there, that's fucking fine. What I'm wanting is daily joy on that journey. So like now, if like let's say I've booked these 5 guests in now, we've got dates in for the next 5 weeks for guests. I'm going to enjoy that now. Like even if it doesn't get us to 10K, I'm going to enjoy that journey of doing all them bits. If 10K comes, fucking hell, we've hit it. Yeah, nice one. Now it's 50K, and then just keep enjoying that journey. But going back to the marijuana thing, if I was stoned, there ain't no way I'm messaging 5 guests. I can't be asked bothering people. I'm like, oh, fuck it. Oh, they'll probably say no anyway. Now I'm sober. I'm like, I look on my list and like 5 guests. I call me fucking people I follow on Instagram. Find first 5 people that I find interesting. Message them. Most of them respond. We've got
let's pause a second there. Who were the guests that spring to mind who we've set up? Jamie Peacock's massive.
Jamie Peacock's booked in for January. That's going to be a big one. I'm buzzing to meet him.
Hard fucking. He's from the era of rugby league when it was its best. Proper man.
And he's still about it now. He's doing all high rocks. He's still in mint shape. That's why he popped up on me. He liked one of his reels. I went on his Instagram, he's fucking shredded up doing high rocks. I'm like, fucking respect. So then I messaged him and he got straight back to me. I'm like, yeah, I'd love to do that, but it's going to be January.
I always remember that time when he just chinned Willie Mason.
Yeah.
When he got he
Who did Willie Mason flatten?
Stuart Field, and they got up, bang right hand, dropped him to his fucking knees, and then Peacock's just come and got stuck in. And somewhat, he did drop him in that fight, in that exchange as well.
He did. So he's probably my favourite guest who's coming on. We've got Jack Bates and he's fighting in 10 days. So I do want to try and get him on next week.
Yeah.
We've got Reece Satchett, who's his company's the competitor for OnlyFans. Now, we said it the other day, no one's ever going to compare to OnlyFans. You could bring out a fucking website that pays you double no matter what.
I think it's almost like now where no one's going to compete with commerce with Amazon.
No.
It's a monopoly.
Yeah, that's it. But he's got triple exclusive, and it's better than OnlyFans. If you screenshot it, it blurs it out. If you try and screen record it, blurs it out, protects all your content. It's a way better design. But like you said, it's a monopoly. So he's coming on. The reason I'm interested in him coming on is because he started OnlyFans the same time as me. He was working in a cafe in Edinley whilst he was at uni. Me and Max Wyatt.
So is he a Leeds lad?
He's from somewhere down south, but he came to Leeds Uni. Me and Max Wyatt, when we first started OnlyFans, went to this cafe. He was working behind there, so we started speaking to him. And he went, "Oh, I might start OnlyFans. I sometimes meet these sugar daddies and I let them give me a massage for like 500 quid." And I'm like, "Oh, fucking fair." Then I was like, "Oh, fuck doing that shit." And I was like, "You should start OnlyFans." I was going to sign him up to my referral, but because Max had all the following, he signed up to Max's, and he ended up fucking making a killing. So Max had made some right money off him. He was making like 150k a month for Reese. So he's obviously just milked that in.
What do you get as a referee for that percentage?
5%.
Fucking hell, man.
And then he was studying business at uni. That's obviously what his business is, this exclusive thing, and now he's just living the dream. So I'm sure he's got some crazy stories to talk about.
I just feel it's wrong name.
Bring it up, bro. He's coming on next week.
I like what he's doing. I don't know enough about it. So I'm surmising there, like in OnlyFans, you've got some creators on there who aren't being nude. They're just like for example, I'm not saying they make loads of money, but like a con attorney. It's a paid access to more content, videos, memberships, whatever they're doing there.
Yeah.
Is Triple X exclusive from the name, solely focused on people who want to see.
Exact same layout, man. Anyone can go on it. People, there's probably like creators on there that just do similar stuff to what's on their own.
Because Triple X to me just
it's
just shout
portray,
porn, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it does. But no, maybe so. I don't know.
I wonder who came up with the idea. So YouTube. I wonder who came up with the idea with Pornhub, because that is, when you think of porn, that's what you think of. Like, what were the other ones when we were younger?
Triple X Amster.
No, I'm trying to think of the other one, that YouPorn.
RedTube.
They're all still about, bro.
Are they?
They're all still about. They're all banging.
I just don't want.
My favourite one is xnxx.com.
Is it?
Belt in that one. Mint. All thumbnails are all class, and then you just hover your mouse over it and it plays you like the best 20 seconds.
Yeah, when I do it now, it's just I want it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's watch them, then I feel disgusted myself. I just want to just quickly get off.
Do you know what a weird advice for me that I think it we're probably similar time to porn? I used to like celebrity upskirts.
Did you?
Bro, I don't know why.
You're a seedy man.
I know. You know, like Paris Hilton getting out of a limo or something, you just see a bit of fucking knicker. I'm like, yeah. Not anymore. I'm just like, I look at that now. I'll shut your legs, you mucky bitch.
Have you seen, I hope our last don't watch this, but have you seen, she's called Nina, who does the interviews with the UFC?
No. Nice.
I think I know what you're on about.
Do you know what I'm talking about? She's got a very unique style of interview, and she almost comes across fairly thick. But it really works. I think she's a lot smarter.
She gets quite flirty with somebody. One at fights. Can't remember.
I also think it's how she looks, mate. But
is it the one who did the interview?
She does a lot with Sean Strickland.
Yeah, that's the one who I've seen. Sean. Yeah.
Sean's probably piping it.
This is a.
Shit.
Do you recognise her?
No.
But she does a lot of like. She's really in with the UFC at the minute.
She looks a bit bent on that one. Like,
what does that mean?
A bit dykey.
We'll work on it. But I don't know where we're going with that. But yeah, she's doing a good job. And again, leaning into your thing, a lot of shorts, which got me into that. And then you're like,
that's it, bro.
You watch the long form then. So I sort of do get that understanding of where it is going, to get that first awareness. But I also think I need to be doing a better job if you want 10K of running pre-roll and running ads, because it's stupid. Like the Danny Christian, we've got that to 20,000 now. That's just all through ads. It's a sponsored post, like 20K views.
All you've got to look at it is, you don't want to film shorts, but you can make so many. Like this podcast, you'll probably make 10 good shorts out of it.
Yeah.
Especially if you put a bit of extra time in there and put some pictures or videos or some captions on it and a good thumbnail.
I was playing about with that short AI the other day, and that just does it all for you.
It does it for you, but it's not like you're saying.
Is it spitting any decent ones out?
I'm not too sure. I did have a play about with it.
Is this on captions?
I'll show you it after. No, it's on.
I'm surprised captions haven't mastered that yet.
I know.
Just
I think they will. You
know, where you could just put the YouTube link in, it spits you back. I don't even mind paying a little bit more per month.
Wait, you know about captions?
Yeah.
Captions does do that.
With YouTube links?
Yeah. but it doesn't churn anything good out.
Right.
Opus Pro.
Opus Pro is the one I like, and it's
I did
that
that
gave
one,
you
though.
like a reading out of 100 of how relatable it was on virality.
Yeah, that's what you need. If they can master,
It gives you a score here as well.
if
will-
they,
it will get better.
If they can master keywords that you use and use it for YouTube's algorithm, and it basically spits you out a viral thing. But then if they do that, everyone's going to use it, and there's going to be no competition. It's just going to be everyone's up there.
Yeah.
I think the best way to just to smash algorithm is
I think it's consistency. with
consistency.
posting.
5 stories, a reel or a carousel or a post on your channels a day, a YouTube short a day, a long form podcast or vlog once
I
or
watched
twice a week.
a long form podcast the other day, and like the way to win on YouTube is just to get to 1,000 videos. If you can condense that, whether it be shorts, whatever it might be. I think we're 159,
Something like that.
So
Still
like imagine the work to get to 1,000. Like it's serious as that.
It's achievable, bro. It's
achievable.
like that
Maybe set
that counts
as a-
shorts
maybe-
as well,
maybe-
doesn't it?
Yeah, so maybe set that as a bit of a goal instead of just the subscribers.
Yeah.
Get 1,000 videos
Yeah.
out. That'll probably pull me towards thinking, hold on a minute here, yes.
Yeah.
And have an
That makes more sense.
And have
to
an
be honest.
understanding between us that we've got to put out something that we both believe is
Quality and
quality.
yeah. Just something that's like I put out I felt like I did myself a bit of injustice the other day by putting the tribe video on that was just like me saying, when I was younger I wanted to take a tribe. Like there's not much context in like if I was a viewer and I watched that I'd be like, what are you on about, mate?
Yeah.
But it was just like I just had on my list.
It's hard. That's hard for me because my brain don't operate like that. It's hard for me to get any sort of context in 60 seconds.
Yeah.
So like even that Sam Holmes one, I know it hasn't got crazy views, but it gives a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a shame that people's attention span's so small. You mentioned when that Neon earlier, I think we talked on the phone that his ADHD or just addiction to looking at his chat is so high that he can't even focus or level into a lock-in for any prolonged period of time at all. And how many kids are just like that now? That's just what's going to be. That's what's going to be crazy. That if there's not enough space on these social media platforms for everyone to make money, so what are these people going to do when they have to be at work for 8 hours and show up and be disciplined?
But all they do then is watch TikToks for fucking 8 seconds at a time, or however minute.
What at work?
Yeah, bro. If you look at anyone now, all they're wanting to do is just fuck. Don't matter what they're doing. Waiting for a bus, sat on a train. They're just, especially young 16-year-olds, like whizzing through. One bit of respect I will give that Neon is Muslim. He's got no money.
He went out with an OnlyFans model, didn't he?
He still does.
Does it?
But it's like the aunt had sex. The aunt does something like that, and the aunt, I will get in a good read on it.
How old is he?
He's 19.
What's the point in having a fucking chick?
It's all the clout thing, innit? But he got offered a couple of million, or maybe even bigger than that, bag for a gambling.
No, that were
Sponsor.
you're talking about Sneeko
No,
here.
I'm talking about Neon.
It was Sneeko got offered a big bag, didn't it?
No, Neon's turned down a big bag though.
Has it?
He's talking about it with his missus, and his missus like, I paid 40 grand for his China trip so he could do some streams. He's like, oh shit, you're right, I owe you that. When I've got 40 grand, I'll give you it. So he's not got 40 grand, and he's been offered a multi-million-pound gambling deal, but because he's a Muslim, he's like, nah, I can't do it. I've got to stick to me. And Bradley Martin's like, respect, like I'll give you respect for that. Other than that though, all he was doing was, hey chat, yeah, what do you reckon to that chat? Come on, bro, come on, chat. Like, and his missus is actually pretty smart. She's there having a decent conversation with Brad, and Brad's asking him a question. And he's like, Neon, he asks him whatever question it is. His missus answers the question, then says, I could probably answer it for him, but I want him to do it himself. And all the way through, just like, yeah, what's that? What's that?
It's addiction, that, isn't it?
It's mate. I don't know if you've seen it, I commented on it in our FullyGame, and I'm like, fair play to Brad there for fucking keeping that conversation going. I had a choke slam Neon straight through the window or whatever I put.
I watched a little bit of him with a black gentleman the other day. Bradley discussing his connection with the Full Send podcast, is it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know which black kid you're on about.
Yeah, just his style of podcasting's changed now.
Bradley Martin.
Yeah, sort of like it. It's just a little bit more relaxed. He's probably more accustomed to be behind the wheel. He's very much himself. You can see that, and I feel a bit more like that just from doing this. I can sort of speak about the things that
You want to talk about?
versus trying to be like, let's get it. I suppose it's like that sometimes when you have a guest, though, because you really want the podcast to go well.
This is why I said, as soon as we get his next guest on, whatever it is, I'm going to sit him down, I'm going to say, I'll probably say it to him beforehand, but just so everyone knows, we're not fucking Philip Schofield and Ollie Willoughby. We're not going to dig into your life story.
Yeah.
You don't need to tell us any stories in any way. You don't need to take us back to when you were at school and you had this fucking... We're just going to have a conversation, ask you a few questions, and we'll just go down a fucking rabbit hole if we like it. That's it, because
This fucking place,
Nice car.
mate. I'm going to start just swinging at this place.
Imagine
mate.
we walk next door and Carl's just knee sliding with top off next door to fucking tunes.
I won't be surprised.
It's kezzled.
What were I going to say then? You know, I watched yesterday. You might give me some abuse here.
Go on.
Gino DeCampo, Gordon Ramsay. They've got like a show where they travel to all these like places, and they were in Finland yesterday, and they're doing the cold plunge. They did a cold dive, so there were like mark points where they moved down and they had to go under and then swim under
An ice sheet.
Under an ice sheet,
Oh,
but you'd do it easy, you. And then there were like circular holes where there were like I don't think we're like
Little
9
stop off points. And
yeah, so you could just go through and.
The only thing is, I watched a video the other day of a girl who does it. It's dark. They've cut out a big. It's that deep is the ice. She jumps. She doesn't realize. Nobody realizes there's a current underneath it. This must be a river or something. So she's jumped under, and currents just swiped her away, and everyone's panicking. Like nobody dare jump in for her. She's just gone, mate. So I'm like,
I've seen the bloke where he loses like his guideline.
Yeah.
You can see him under ice,
and he's like trying to bang through it and step on it.
It's somewhat
It's a bit of
inspired.
a fear for me.
Somewhat inspired me because as I was watching that, I felt like that's the way the content we could make. Because he's going back to the title, and then he's just executing that. Theirs is a little bit about food, which I'm a big foodie. I want to get back into.
Have you seen it where they all get stoned?
Yeah, on them cannabis strips. Yeah. It's good content. It's a little bit scripted for me. I could see that the people that were bringing in who were like the guests or the people that were taking them through the stuff they were doing were, you could see it were maybe say this, maybe don't say this. You could see it were a little bit orchestrated, but other than that, it was like a decent watch. That DeCampo's funny.
Yeah, he's funny, mate. He's funny. He's funny because he must understand the English accent way more than he says, because he says some funny stuff in his accent that's like what a northerner would say.
Yeah.
There's like
But he can get away with a lot, him.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not saying it's sexual, but
But
he
it
is
is,
like
though,
that.
isn't it?
Like the guide who were doing the swimming, she were fit.
So what were he saying to the woman?
He's like, can I have a kiss? So kiss, the Italian style.
I think that's
and then he almost like, but then he rested on her breasts. So like, can I have a quick cuddle before I go in, and just like got onto bosom a bit. I was like,
Fair play.
Respect. No,
Fair
I
play.
respected it, but I wouldn't have assumed that. Is it ITV who published it? But it's been put on Netflix. I don't watch normal TV. But I was like,
But do you know what's crazy? If it came out that he were a fucking pest, abuser,
yeah, they'd pull that back
pedo,
up.
how did you not notice? Look at him, he's fucking... Because they did it with Jimmy Savile, mate. He were doing, obviously, a bit different.
I felt it's a bit more severe.
Yeah, he were doing definitely... But back then, bro, nobody knew. He were like saying stuff to kids and touching kids and...
I think there were a bit of a blind eye to that, which were wrongly, because you were generating that much money for charity.
So everyone just like...
It's wrongly, because they probably just assumed he's a bit funny. But they probably didn't think you were like going into hospitals and doing the fucking sadistic
But
shit he did.
even when like this girl were writing stuff or saying, no, I don't like you, and drawing a picture of him and shit, like
He
people...
looks like a complete nonce.
Yeah,
though.
that's the worst thing about it.
If you're to look at him, that's what you'd,
Whenever you see nonce, though, you kind of go like, yeah, he looks like a nonce. It's like, it must just be a thing, like you've got to look like a nonce to be a nonce.
Yeah.
And he fucking...
Like he used to just stroll about in those tracksuit bottoms and his Rolls Royce, and kids would be chasing him like, Jim will fix it. Or like, fuck.
Jump in, girls.
Strange,
Yeah,
carry on.
it's fucking
But that was that
super
sort of era there where people, especially from a British, because we would have been BBC him, from a British standpoint of being very conservative, people do pull a blind eye to it, whereas in today's world, it wouldn't ever fly that.
Too woke now, innit?
Yeah, especially for mainstream TV, there's no way they'd allow that. If anything, they're like, whoa, no.
Do you want to talk about BKFC real quick?
Shall I get the card up?
Get the card up and let's just fucking dissect
To be
it.
fair, I've just been watching a show on Netflix that I think you would like. It's
What is
called White Gold.
Classic, mate.
fucking
What is it?
One of the best.
I've just finished
So
watching
it's
it.
funny you mention that. One of the
knew you'd
best
be into it.
TV series ever made.
Yeah.
From the music, from the industry they were in. It reminds me, there's a long-time friend called Glyn Margrave who owns Ronaldo's. It super reminded me of him because that was his exact same flow to making money.
Yeah.
He were a double glazed salesman. And then I could just imagine that environment in 70s and 80s of being that cutthroat. And then he got into timeshares. The exact thing they did there, which were... Anyone should watch that. Anyone who's into sales or has a passion for sales. I'm old school, mate, so I'm from that era of I still like that. On the phone, being in front of people, pushing that messaging and being a slick operator. That is a classic watch, man. I'm buzzing you've watched that. Have you watched all of it yet?
Yeah, I literally finished it.
Yeah,
overnight.
in it one of them where you just want to watch next
Yeah.
and watch next and watch next and watch next.
Finished it off pretty quick.
The music, mate. Like if you like, me and our lass like to watch things that have got good music playlists behind it and a well thought out with that, and that were classically made. Probably get some of their people. Who was the slick operator? What was his name?
I don't know his name.
I'd love to get someone like...
two off the
no,
in-betweeners.
but something came out about him. He got bad press. My missus told me. I hope I'm not just fucking putting words in his mouth, but I'm sure he were a bit of a predator. Looking like that, though, he probably slinging dick.
Who is it?
Good-looking guy. So if I can show you here. Just pull the BKFC card up when I find this guy.
Whilst you're doing that, I'll tell you what else is good on Netflix since we're here.
Can we get a screen up here? It's fucking needed.
Yeah, it is needed. What's her name? Maxine. You know Ian Huntley? The fucking...
I've watched that.
Bro, that's a decent watch.
Yeah.
It's apparently very accurate
I
as
feel
well.
she was a little bit...
Again, naive.
Do you think it was naive?
Yeah, because...
Or do you think she had something wrong with her?
Yeah, I think she were like... I don't know. It's hard to explain, but from what I watched from the documentary, it seems like she knew what was going on.
That's the guy on White Gold. And then like that were his missus.
Right.
It's a really, really good watch.
I might have to watch it. So, which one is it that we watched and we liked? The heavyweights. Is it Faulkner and Cunningham?
No. So the guy we watched.
Faulkner's Christie's sparring partner.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it looks like him. Who else have we got on there?
So that's the first fight. That's the first fight on undercard. Fuck knows why, but they put Johnny Graham on undercard. That's a fucking travesty. Whatever the word is.
Travesty. I like that.
So we got Graham versus Radomski, this Polish kid that Slim were meant to fight. I think Graham's probably going to be a bit disappointed being on undercard, but at least he gets his fight.
Bonner
pulled out with a broken nose.
Is that what it was?
Apparently. Nevin and Cook's a good fight.
Nevin and Cook's good. Are we back in for that?
Well, it'd be nice to Cook for... I've got to be careful what I say because I'm not a fighter. I feel his opposition the last time wasn't the greatest.
Yeah, definitely
Nevin's going to come to fighting, so that'll be a good matchup.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about those lightweights.
No.
They look fucking bigger than lightweights.
Just got big fat heads. Bro, that looks like...
That's the boy who I liked last time, this Carl Thompson. And he's fighting that Oscar. Is he a South African brawler?
He's not South African. He's from...
I got it wrong completely.
He's a fucking... What's the football team now? He's a big hooligan.
Oh, shit.
He's a big hooligan. Tell me it begins with an S, wherever it's from.
Slovakia.
Something like that. He's a big fucking hooligan, mate.
Well, Nathan Owens, I watched Nathan last night in the red corner.
What was that like?
I like Nathan. Mate.
Judd.
You're big Judd.
Go on, Judd.
Yeah, my mate, he likes that.
yeah, he likes my mate.
But I'm looking forward to watching Nathan Owens fight. He's fighting
Conor Cook, who
beat
Kennedy.
Yeah. Fox and Brown, great matchup.
Very good matchup. Are we back in for that? I think that'll test Robbie. I think that's going to be a true colour of how Robbie is, because I'm not being funny. He's not had the toughest of fights, has he really?
Yeah, that's a fight I'm looking forward to. Atkin and Hendry. I don't know much about Atkin Hendry.
Obviously, Holmesy beat him, didn't he?
But a big boy can fight. That's going to be one to watch. Danny Mitchell, our boy there, fighting Ferguson. I watched Ferguson a little bit in the red corner again.
What was that like?
Backs himself.
Game.
Backs himself.
He's got a good. I think he's like 27-3 or something in boxing. So he's good.
And he was saying on there that he's been over to Poland and fought great opposition, and he's used to bare knuckle. Like you're saying, it's not boxing; it's bare knuckle fighting. Shaw and Hodgson.
That'll be good. It's a bit weird because I've not seen... Obviously, Hodgson's has a lot of problem with his hands, doesn't he? So I've not actually seen him fighting fucking God knows how long, but Mason Shaw's been about a bit. Obviously, me, Holmesy. I think... Who else has fought him, who we know?
I don't know. Have you fought him?
I fought him in MMA.
You beat him?
Yeah, armbarred him. Holmesy's fought him. He's just been doing rounds in bare knuckle for a couple of years now, and so that'll be a good watch.
Holmes and Kroll.
Holmesy at
a new weight.
Yeah.
And then headlining the bill, DC Danny Christie. Versus Warren. You got to back Christie all day there.
100%.
You need a shotgun to put him away.
Everyone who we know there, I'm backing all of them. I think I'm excited to watch Danny because obviously it's his first official bare knuckle.
Be nice if you could bet. What's it called where you bet over multiple things?
Accumulator.
And if you got that right,
can you bet on BKFC?
13 fights.
I don't know.
You can through DraftKings, but it's so hard to do. It's nigh on impossible. I don't know if you've got to have a VPN, which is far beyond my fucking pay grade. But we've got the tickets for the media passes, so we're there. I want to try and get some good work done there.
Yeah,
I feel that if executed correctly, stay sober, can be done. We can grow that.
Yeah.
Put our little spin on.
All we need to do is plan that properly.
Yeah.
We'll sit down properly, plan it.
Just same with this camera. Make sure I've got my XLR outputs with the mics. We've got his headsets on so we can do portable podcasts. And just try and get as much content as humanly possible.
Keep mic'd up always.
Yeah.
and then just like say take mics and fucking just don't be afraid to pull someone to.
Yeah.
But I know we like to be not serious, but I know we like to be straight to the point and have a normal conversation as if we would on the street. But I think
You've got to somewhat ask questions.
And even try and put a bit of a funny twist on it, even if it's after the fight when they're fucking pissed up, have a bit of a laugh. Well, how do you think that went? Yeah, good. And then I think funny ones are stuff like, what's your go-to move in a bar fight? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because they're just like, that's what I'd want to know if I was speaking to fucking Danny Christie, mate. I'd want to know if it's the fucking nut, is it a spinning back fist? Like, what is it?
Maximum damage.
Yeah, it's just, what is it? Slam on head and just hammer fist?
Maximum damage.
Yeah.
Eradicate the threat.
Yeah. But that's what I want to know, mate.
Yeah. That's what people want to know, really, isn't it?
Yeah. And if you can put that at the start of your clip, they're going to watch the rest of it. 'Cause think, fuck me, he said that. What else is he saying?
How are we going to get this? If this is out by Sunday, though, we're going to be a bit fucking short-dated here, aren't we?
We can try and get this out before.
Ideally.
Try and put this out Friday if you want.
I'm just at Wayne's on that Friday.
Yeah. Are we all going to Wayne's?
Can do, mate.
I want to go.
Yeah.
I think,
Definitely ceremonial. I think Holmes has got a few things lined up in morning, which is I think how that works, you've got the official weigh-ins at Village South Leeds in the morning.
You asked about that.
I'm just gonna spend a bit of time with him on
I've
Friday.
got my haircut at 10.
Well, don't stress about that, and then we can rendezvous once I've come back, go through to the ceremonial, meet everybody, try and get a good feel off. We can get some interviews there. I don't mind working late there, so if I take the good mics, editing up, try and get it out on the fly like we did with Amber stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think we've far surpassed what we can do editing-wise now from those days. And then obviously fight night on the Saturday.
Let's do it, mate. Let's properly plan it then, and let's fucking take over that. Like, after watching like Josh Gudgeon and that at Octagon,
it was sick that way. Did
I'd enjoy doing something like that. I think.
Tell the truth. You bought your new lens yet?
No.
Shit house.
I do, but
Took the cash. Didn't fucking invest.
Do you know why? It's gone up £100. I thought we were getting a bargain.
I wish I would have penny behind you.
And it takes 2 weeks to come as well.
Buy another lens.
Just buy it.
Get a lens with the similar.
And also my tax is due.
With the similar, what's it called? The similar zoom that you want, and just if it's Amazon, you send it back if you don't like it.
Yeah. I'll order it today.
Your zoom lens is just a little bit too big, yours, mate.
Yeah, it's too big. That's our make city, innit? And I also need to get the Gorilla Pod as well. But I'll do it. I'll do it now.
I think you should.
I'll do it now.
Because if you get a nice one on Amazon before you'd be here before Friday, Saturday.
It's a write-off as well.
It's not though. I've learnt this, mate.
Oh, bro, don't tell me this.
They're not 100% write-offs. People think, I don't want to bore people with business. People think it's 100% write-off, or if I just spend, it's 100% write-off. It's not like that.
No, but surely if
you get 25% tax relief.
But is it?
It's not a lot, mate.
Oh no.
People just think, well, if I just get my expenses up to as much of my income, then it's just going to be right. I'm like, don't work like that. I wish it did.
But surely,
all you do then is you just be like buying gear all the time for your business.
No, but surely if I'm buying a camera from my business,
I think it's 25% write-off, mate. Tax relief or something like that.
Really?
Something like that.
That's not good because I've spent fucking bare on everything this year.
But we have with this room with no yield back. That's where I panic sometimes, mate. But you want this room and it does a job.
It comes in. It's
if Carl's not fucking jumping into the fucking wall and whatnot.
Yeah. Doing knee slides through door.
Kidding.
Let's call it then, boys.
Happy lads.
Happy with
that was a good one, that.
Nice.